CBC. This is our Pentecost special. Here's an update on our situation in Jerusalem. It's been 50 days since our previous report. Thousands of people gathered today in the center of Jerusalem for the Feast of the First Fruits. A freak weather event had initially disrupted the celebrations, but that was quickly eclipsed by a group of what appeared to be drunken men, speaking in multiple languages to the astonishment of the crowds. We have with us one of the followers of Jesus. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your link to this group.
Okay, you see, my name is Matthias, and up until a few days ago, I was just a simple follower of resurrected Jesus. But after he rose from the dead, as we all know, and went up to heaven, the best place on earth, it became clear that they needed a replacement apostle for the group. I was chosen to do this job.
In your own words, what exactly would you say happened this morning?
Okay, you see, we went to an upper room to pray. While we were there, a violent wind came rushing through the building. I was reminded of words Jesus spoke at a previous meal. He had told us not to leave Jerusalem, but wait for the gift the Father had promised, to be baptized by the Holy Spirit. I knew instantly as I looked around the room at the other disciples that this was taking place. Just like the pillar of fire which led the Israelites through the deserts, he sent what seemed to be like fire to rest on the heads of everyone present. It was incredible. Everyone began speaking in lots of foreign languages.
What reactions did you get from the people listening?
Honestly, the people around us were a bit confused and bewildered, and could hear their own languages being spoken. Everyone was kind of amazed.
Thank you for sharing, Matthias. Now time to interview our second interviewee. Our next interview is with one of the people in the crowd who stopped to tell us what he thought was going on. Good morning. Where do you come from?
I come from Libya.
What brought you to Jerusalem this week?
I'm a Jew, and although our family has been in Libya for many years, we often come back to celebrate the major festival, such as the Feast of the First Fruits.
Could you tell us something about what you saw this morning?
I couldn't believe that the festival had been rudely interrupted by a group of drunken fools. Goodness me! It was only 9 o'clock in the morning. What kind of people are drinking at that hour? It's a disgrace. It ruined my morning, and I'm getting out of here.
Interview is with one of the crowd who stayed until quite late in the day. Where are you from, and did you come to Jerusalem for the festival?
Well, I'm from Mesopotamia, and my family has been there since the times of Daniel. This year was my first time in Jerusalem for the Festival of the First Fruits.
Could you tell us something of what you saw during the day?
It began with this morning's weather being quite odd and extremely windy. I thought they might have to cancel the event, but the wind suddenly stopped and I heard a distinct language of Mesopotamian being spoken. I couldn't believe it. They were declaring the wonders of God. After a short while, one of these men stood up and spoke to the crowd. There was a feeling of something like a lightning storm in our midst as we heard him tell us about this Jesus.
Would you say these events have changed you in any way?
Oh, for sure. When I heard what these men had to say, the message cut me to the heart. And I asked, what did I need to do? I asked for forgiveness of my sins, and I believed, and I received the gift of the Holy Spirit. They told me that this promise was for me and for my children and all those at home. And along with around 3,000 other people, I was baptized.
Well, it seems Jerusalem has had a life-changing experience today. We will have to see what happens to this group of Jesus followers. Only time will tell whether this was a freak weather event or an act of God, which has the potential to change the world. To get more on these and other late-breaking and developing stories from around Israel, please go to our website, www.crossroadschurch.fr. Thank you for tuning in today, and we hope to see you again on CBC. In the last days, God says,
Your sons and daughters will prophesy.
Your young men will see visions.
Your old men will dream dreams.
Even on my servants, both men and women. I will pour out my Spirit in those days, and they will prophesy.
I will show wonders in the heavens above and signs on the earth below.
Blood and fire and billows of smoke. The sun will be turned to darkness and the moon to blood.
Before the coming of the great and glorious day of the Lord, and everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved.
God has raised this Jesus to life, and we are all witnesses of it.
Exalted to the right hand of God.
He has received from the Father the promised Holy Spirit,
and has poured out what you now see and hear.